Titan Mussolini, the merchant of success, your motivational speaker, human resource trainer, life and career coach. Welcome to this video. I've created it specifically for you as a youthful or young person or new generation, just to see what are some of those things you need to pay attention to when you're starting or growing a business. Just to let you know, I'm from a very humble background. My dad was a tailor. I had only 2 years of schooling. We grew up very poor grew up most of my life in a single room, and where just behind the curtain was daddy and mommy. I lost my mom when I was 9, lost my dad when I was 17, and the biggest asset we had at home was a bicycle. But I also had a dream. I struggled with confidence and self-esteem, and felt like a second-class citizen, and yet I've transformed my life around to traveling to over 25 countries as a speaker, as a trainer, as a consultant, and over time I've seen my life grow in leaps and bounds. I'm an author, consulted for organizations from World Bank to UN and the like. So why am I telling you this? Is to tell you that it's possible for you regardless of where you've been. And as such, in this particular video I want to share with you what are some of those things you need to pay attention to when you're starting a business. Number one, I would encourage you to start a business in an area where you're passionate about or you have knowledge about. Recently I was chatting with an old friend of mine. He told me, you know what, I want to do food processing because all my life I know it inside out. I've worked in different businesses that do food processing. So for such a person, it's difficult to dupe him, it's difficult to confuse him. He knows it inside out. So ideally, that's the ideal. It's not a cast in stone, but you boost your chances for success. A, if you know the industry very well, and B, if you're passionate. Like, I love training, I love speaking, so I created a business around that, okay? Then number two is look for problems that agitate you, that trouble you, that make you feel bad. So that agitation will also give you the energy to start a business. Remember, poor people complain about problems, but rich people look at problems as business opportunities. In other words, when they see a problem, they see profits. While other people, when they see a problem, they see an opportunity to complain. So what are those things that agitate you? And then the second question to ask yourself is, how can I create a business around this? And then the third thing you need to remember is part of what holds us back as young people is to think, I'm too young, I can't start, who will buy this, who will buy that. But remember, it's not your age. It's not the number of years you've lived on planet Earth, but it is the quality of thoughts of the life you've lived that matters the most. That if you're good enough, then you're old enough. So I want you to drop the mindset of I'm too young. So instead, think, okay, what can I do here and now? And the other key thing I want to bring to your attention is this. Think in terms of what you have now. Start with what you have now. I like the biblical story of when Moses was faced by these, when he was faced by the Egyptians chasing after him, racing after him, and he had people to save, and he cried out to God for help. So God asked, what do you have? He said, I have a staff. He said, use that staff, strike it strike the Red Sea, and boom, guess what? It parted. But here is the key. God asked, what do you have? So whatever you have, that's what you start with. You can't, the challenge is we sometimes keep crying about what we don't have, and then that holds us back from starting. So start with what you have. Even if it's $1, start with it. Buy G-nuts, fry them, start. It's much better than you theorizing and complaining and just looking for ways and means for people to bail you out. It's much better when you're the one out there bailing out people with your dreams. So those are some of the key mindsets. Start with what you have, and most importantly is start right away, that your future is now. You waiting till sometime in the near future, or what that future is, which may never come, then guess what? It may never happen. So instead, just know that the opportunity you have is right now, and the market that is available today may not be available 5 years from now. Look at all our lives, how markets keep changing, especially with technology. The things that are relevant today will be irrelevant tomorrow. So if you're waiting until sometime in the future, guess what? You may never ever start. And the other key mindset to look at when you're starting is, if possible, find partners, but when you're looking for partners, look for people who have similar values. One of the mistakes I made was to look for partners who were very busy. They were working full-time, yet me, I was full-time self-employed. So at the end of the day, we weren't putting in equal amounts of time, and that creates a sense of unease, of unfairness, and you don't want to start from that. So if you're fully employed, if you're to go self-employed, I beg your pardon, then look for people who are self-employed, people who put in the same shift as you, people who believe the same way you believe. If you have integrity, they should be having integrity. If you have value clashes, then you have a problem. If you believe in integrity and someone is thinking, let's cut shortcuts, then you'll be in big time trouble. Now, so that's in terms of starting the business. Those are the mindsets that you need. And of course, you look at the resources and you ask, how do I start with what I have? And most important, what problem can I offer? And you see, when you're solving a problem or creating an opportunity in business, how can you help people do things faster or cheaper? Or how can you help people save money or make more money or feel better or really get relieved of pain? So you have to create an opportunity or solve a problem. And those are some of the things you need to think about. Can you save people from something, or can you help them to enjoy something? What kind of pleasure can you create? What kind of pain can you get relieved of? And I'm not going to prescribe things for you. I'm giving you mindsets to have when you're thinking of starting a business, because then that will expand your mind. Now, what if as you're watching this, you've already started a business and you're thinking of growing? There are a couple of things that I would encourage you to do. Number one is dream big. Don't just think of Nigeria or whichever country you are from while watching this, or just think globally. That's one of the biggest mistakes I made, was to think locally, to think, I'm originally from Uganda, so originally I was thinking around Uganda, and that limited my capacity to grow. But if I had started with the mindset of going global, I would be way ahead compared to where I am now. The second thing that I would encourage you, if you've already started a business, to grow and scale, is to focus on sales and marketing. Sales and marketing. You know, there is a saying that when you build a castle, or when you build something great that people will come, you know what, that's 30% of the truth. The other 70% is you have to do sales and marketing. You have to make noise about it. If it wasn't to make people hear about it, by now Coca-Cola should have shut down. They should be keeping quiet, because, I mean, we know Coca-Cola, but they are always fronting themselves in your mind. That's in order to have what we call top of mind awareness. So you have to market, you have to sell every day. Say, how do I sell myself? How do I market myself? How do I push myself? Because if you don't, then you won't get there. Then the third thing you have to think about is systems. Think beyond your time frame. So what happens if you're sick? What happens if you're dead? What happens if you want to go on vacation? So once you start thinking at that level, then you start putting systems and processes in place to get it done. Now, what is the answer around that? Find people who are excellent at this. Now, you may not have the money to pay a professional to put systems and processes for you, but this is what you could do. Could you find someone and you give them a portion of the income or a portion of the company if you know they're going to put in the time to give you that boost? That's another option. The other option is you could say, okay, can I offer you my product or service, and then in return you give me your time and expertise. That way you're bartering value. I call it bartering value. So never let money limit to how much, what you can do. You can barter value. You can say, I give you this and then you give me that, and then before you know it, you get what you want. The other key to pay attention to is quality, quality, quality. Don't make shortcuts. That it's quality product and quality service. So meaning you do something great, something amazing, but then you take care of your customers, because these are the people who will be singing about you, they'll be talking about you, they'll be sharing your name, and then before you know it, the business is scaling up. That you know that the number one marketing strategy is a happy customer. And finally, make sure that your company has good values. So make sure it has good values which are sustainable. Things like integrity or excellence, those are whereby you keep your word. Those are values that will keep your organization long term. And make sure you sell the vision to your team that you're working with, because if they don't know where you're going, they won't go there with you. But care for them, respect them, laugh with them, show that you care for them beyond their work. And then, most importantly, think about your business scaling at a bigger level. You dream big, but you keep doing these actions to get there. Now, if you really like this, you wanted to keep this in a short form so that you can consume it quickly. Hopefully these mindsets help you. But if you really want to get even more of my mindset, how I think about life and business, I would encourage you to go to ethanat40.com because there I share my top 40 life and business lessons that I learned by the age of 40, which will help you. So you sign up, you put in your name and email. I'll send you you'll receive an automated email, and then once you confirm that you want to get onto the list, then every single day for the next 40 days, you'll get my mindsets and thought processes that will help you to go forth. So I thank you, and if you like this video, share it, leave comments below, like it. Let's spread the good news for us to create more businesses, because that's one of the keys to solving youth unemployment in Nigeria, in Africa, and the rest of the world. Thank you. God bless.